I'm Yasmin Gagne.
I'm Josh Christensen.
And this is Most Innovative Companies Podcast Video Edition.
I have a bunch of business travel coming up. I don't know if that's the same for everybody. Like October through December feels like peak business travel time. And then you just roll right into the holidays where you have to travel to family and you're just constantly packing and unpacking, which is by far the worst part for me. Not the least of which is because I don't really have a good suitcase. I don't actually think I've bought a suitcase for myself in my entire life. I've always just sort of inherited them. Like my parents get a new set of luggage and they give me their old luggage, or I don't even know. I just assimilate luggage to travel with over the course of my life. But I think I need to change that because it's becoming a problem that I do not have an appropriate bag to travel with. And I've been thinking about this not just because of the travel I have upcoming, but because on today's episode, we're interviewing the new CEO of Away. So Away is a 10-year-old direct-to-consumer luggage brand known for its colorful hard-shell suitcases. In 2019, after raising a $100 million Series D round, the company was valued at $1.4 billion. But that was before the DTC winter set in. In May, co-founder Jen Rubio stepped down as CEO of the company, assuming the title of executive chair. She was succeeded by Jessica Shinazi, an alum at Dyson, LVMH, and Amazon, who has been president of Away since December. Yaz spoke with Shinazi about making the company profitable, launching a soft-shell suitcase and other accessories, and moving away from D2C to sell on Amazon and at Nordstrom. Here's that conversation.
Jessica, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So you became the CEO of Away, or you joined Away as president.
That's right.
In late 2024, and you have now stepped into the CEO role this year. You have an interesting background because you worked in luxury at LVMH, and then mass market e-commerce at Amazon. What lessons are you taking from your background to Away? What attracted you to the role?
You know, the thread is consumer. It's love brands and love products. It's a high sense of audience love and loyalty into all of those products. And it's also beautiful lifestyle, fun categories. It'd be in beauty, in luxury, in appliances, now in travel. And so there's that idea of innovation, of brand building that's still so relevant in my current Away role as well.
Were you an Away user before?
I was an original Away user from 2016, 2017. It truly was amazing the impact it had when it came to markets. It was the first time you could buy a beautiful, colorful suitcase with a great DTC experience and that one single perfect suitcase. So I hopped on the Away train.
I'm still using like a crappy Samsonite from like
we
2002.
have to change this. We have to change this. We have expanded into so many colors, partnerships, limited editions. I'm sure we can find something great for you.
So I'm curious, Away is a sort of direct-to-consumer brand, and there were so many at the time that raised a ton of money from venture capital back in the day. I think, that kind of fundraising has cooled. We're seeing a lot of firms pull back from it. What kind of challenge is that as a CEO, or how do you think about the company's growth now?
Yeah. What is so interesting about Away in 2025 is the growth that we're experiencing, but specifically, where is that growth coming from? And it's truly for us this year coming from getting our products in front of new customers in different ways. And that meant expanding wholesale, expanding distribution, thinking through marketplaces and social shopping, all of the things that are not so much different than DTC, because I think of them all as an extension of what it means to be a DTC brand.
We've seen a lot of DTC brands.
And we've seen brands go and extend their reach and their awareness in that way. But to some extent, 2025 couldn't have happened without the last 10 years of us building our audience and the relationship that we have with all our customers. So it feels like a very organic, actually, evolution of where we are this year in widening our distribution a little bit. And to your point, I think other brands are taking a similar path as well.
So tell me about your distribution strategy now. You're in Nordstrom.
Yes.
You on Amazon.
We are.
Tell me about those decisions, where you decided to put your suitcases.
Yes.
Tell me all that.
So this year we have opened Amazon, which is going really well for us. It's a very natural fit. There's over $1 billion worth of luggage sales on Amazon. And Away was one of the top search terms in luggage even prior to us joining the platform. So that demand was there. The customer was waiting for us with a degree of anxiety on when are you coming to the platform, right? And so that was Amazon capturing that existing demand. Nordstrom, which we also opened a few months ago, is very much a full circle moment. We had a sold out pop-up in 2018 at Nordstrom, and it feels so good being able to re-extend our distribution. We're in over 90 doors this year. It's beautiful locations in which you get to go and touch the product, to see the colors, to see the textures and the finishes, etc. The difference between those two is in one, we really are tapping into that existing customer. In the other example with Nordstrom, we're going after locations where we might not have stores, where customers might not know of us yet. And so we're really putting the brand physically, tangibly in front of other net new customers. And then we also have Dick's Sporting Goods, which is a more niche specialty retailer.
Yeah.
But we have such an amazing sports collection, collegiate collection, family travel and kids collection that lends itself so well to their customer base. And the theme behind all of this is that idea of incrementality, of meeting the customers where they are and continuing to truly think about how do we serve the brand and the product in a way where we're not bringing the customers to the website, we're bringing the website, the brand, the experience to the customer where they already are.
Have you found that sort of different demographics are now finding your products?
Absolutely. And Away is a really interesting positioning because we see it as a core millennial darling, right?
Yeah.
Within that, we are able to kind of flex up and down really organically as well. So we see a lot of boomers who are finding the brands with a lot of love behind it. Because it's seamless travel, it's really smart features. And then we're leaning really heavy into Gen Z and new customer demos as well, who are finding us through our social media presence, through the partnerships that we announced, and who did not know about the brand until this year, but they're coming through different pathways into the brand outside of the website.
What have you seen different customer behavior when it comes to Gen Z?
The entry points are different. I think we used to focus a lot on discovery through paid search and your traditional kind of SEO-led paid search model in which you're going to
those are
start
all
on
a
Google,
disaster right now.
It's changing fast. We can talk about that for sure. And that in itself is changing in the way our customers are starting their customer journeys. And they're starting them on Amazon as a big search engine. They're starting them on AI recommendation engines with a lot more two-way conversations. And then they're starting them on social media. And it's a lot of gaining that mind share through TikTok browsing and what are people wearing and what are people talking about. And so how do you actually take them at that stage and then build them through the whole funnel and have them convert them on your site?
Are you profitable?
We are not sharing our...
People who don't share are not profitable. I really believe this.
I will tell you this. We're having a great year. And so, although we're not sharing specific data, I can share with you, we just closed Q2, we're up double digits year on year. We're seeing amazing metrics in new customer acquisition. All of the big bets that we're taking this year, they're working. And so we're having a good year, but I will leave it at that.
What's it been like, becoming a CEO from a previously founder-led company? I think Jen Rubio and Steph Corey were kind of front and center of this brand for a really long time.
Yeah, and they poured so much of, I think, their vision even into where we're going today. And it's exciting to be a part of that chapter. And when I joined as president in December of last year, I spent a lot of time with Jen to truly understand where we want to take this together. And to really align on what are those big bets and what are the big transformations that we do want to take in 2025 and beyond. And we still work extremely closely together.
Now, you mentioned a bunch of partnerships. and you've had some with everyone from Rashida Jones to the New York Liberty.
Yes.
What have been your most successful ones, and what makes a good partnership?
Yeah. Let me first start by, I couldn't really answer you without saying that we just announced our most recent partnership yesterday, our partnership with Sabrina Ionesco from the New York Liberty, which we're so incredibly excited to partner with in a multi-year-long partnership, in a partnership in which she's going to build her own capsule collection with us that will exclusively launched on awaytravel.com next year. We are supporting her foundation efforts, and we're making sure that her colleagues at the New York Liberty continue to travel in style with Away products as the official luggage partner of the New York Liberty. So that's very fresh. And for us, it's truly important for us that we're able to champion women athletes, and specifically athletes who are continuing to push boundaries of what's possible in their field. And I take this back as that's what we did when we came to market. We pushed boundaries a lot in how you can sell luggage. It was not very fun, very colorful, very interesting, I think, before. And we truly reinvented that. And for us, what makes a good partnership tick is that authenticity. It's that alignment of values and shared causes that's important to both us and the partner. Now, we do multiple types of partnerships. We have partnerships in which we collaborate on products. We have more brand-led, partnership-led campaigns. We do social media partnerships. So it's a core part of the strategy, and it takes a lot of different shapes and flavors.
You launched soft-sided luggage last year.
Yes.
I feel like the hard shell Away is so iconic or like recognizable. Soft-sided luggage sort of puts you into very direct competition with another category. Why did you enter that product category, and what other categories do you think are sort of critical for Away to enter?
Yeah, when you look at the market, it's really split into hard shell and soft shell.
Are you a hard shell or a soft shell?
I'm a hard shell because I'm an original Away customer. So I've been a hard shell for a long time. And truly customers are split in the US, and it's about 50-50. A lot of different customers have different kinds of preferences as far as what they like. You have the sturdiness and the resistance of your hard shell. You can squeeze in like a little more sometimes in your soft shell. So are you a soft shell person?
I'm a cheap shell person.
I'm not. Again, we're going to have to bring you into our store and give you a luggage makeover. So we went into this with the same exigence of quality and craftsmanship that we build in our hard shells. And I fundamentally believe that our soft shell product is one of the best soft shell product on the market. It's very smartly designed. It's everything that you love about our hard shell. So our really quiet 360 wheels, our super great trolley handles, a lot of internal organizations, etc., with the format that you might prefer as a soft shell person. So that's why we went there. It's a large market to bring customers into the brand. And interestingly, customers who come into the brand through that, then they convert to hard shell and vice versa as well, right? Like, so you're building all of those craft pathways that are super interesting.
Tell me about your pricing strategy.
Yeah, I think that we have always had a premium positioning in the market as a true reflection of the quality, the durability, the craftsmanship, and with the warranty and the insurance that you have, that when you're buying an Away suitcase, you're an Away customer for life and we'll take care of you. And so within that, our price point, they start at $265 for a carry-on, $295 for a bigger carry-on, which is our number one bestseller, which is, I think, a very attractive price proposition. And then we go up based on features, sizes. We sell everything from a carry-on to large to a trunk size, and then different formats. So we have polycarbonate, we have aluminum, and very excitingly, we are launching a completely new format, which is a bridge between polycarbonate and aluminum in the next couple of weeks, called Aluminum Edge, which is launching very soon into market. It's everything that you like about a polycarbonate suitcase with reinforced aluminum edges to really add that elevated touch of the aesthetic of aluminum. That's so beautiful. Stay tuned for that. And so the pricing strategy is truly building the proposition based on features. So is it a bigger size? Does it have more feature? What kind of materials are you going to have in the product? This year, in 2025 particularly, with sort of everything that's happening into the US customer wallet, we are very proud to continue maintaining the price point that we have. And we have not taken a price increase in the last couple of months, for example, when we've seen a lot of other consumer brands having to increase their prices.
Is that because of good margins?
We operate a healthy business, so our margins are where we need them to be, but our margins are also challenged similar to a lot of other consumer brands this year with what's happening in the world and tariffs, etc. And so within that, we have great partners and supplier partners that are able to take some risk to continue serving the best possible pricing and luggage to the customers.
That was going to be my next question. How have you been affected by tariffs?
Yeah, like every other consumer brands, we have been impacted in some ways. The commitment to our customers to continue to offer a great product primed for us above all else. So on the back, on our operations, we've tried to mitigate as much as possible some of that impact and truly try to understand what is the short-term impact, what is going to have to be a long-term impact, etc. But on the front end to the customer, we have stood by our price promise of providing that great luggage and not increasing those prices.
Away obviously had some challenges during the pandemic. No one was
traveling.
What did it take to reignite that growth? Did you have to pull any levers to kind of make it happen?
So I only joined a year ago, but I will tell you about what I'm so admirative about Away during the pandemic is instead of being a brand that kind of lost its way during the pandemic, it actually built a level of resilience that we still carry through into the business today. And what that means is that we diversified our product assortment into bags and accessories, for example. What it meant is that we diversified our supply chain at a time where everyone was dealing with massive supply chain shortages or freight issues in the world, right? And so today, when we have to weather storms, we're equipped to do that because it's not the first time that we're facing operational adversity in some ways. And that also carries in, I think, the culture and the people and their ability to, when there's a challenge that's unexpected, pivot really fast with a sense of agility and truly recover from it. And so from then, after the pandemic, we've had years of revenge travel. Everyone wanted to travel back again.
God, inflation got so expensive.
And but to that point, it also changed how people traveled, right? Yeah. It's not anymore only plane travel. It's a lot of road trips. It's plane travel that's coming back. And it has in turn forced us to also adapt to our assortments and make sure that we have the right products for all of those different ways of traveling as well.
Tell me about expanding your offerings beyond suitcases. What categories did you expand to? Which ones have been successful? And then what are you going to expand to?
Originally, that one single perfect suitcase. 10 years later, almost 10 years later, we have a very wide assortment of products that take you further on the go. And at the core of that is that the customers of 10 years ago, they're not living the same life today. They're 10 years older. They might have family. They might have kids. They have different kinds of hobbies. They travel for work in different ways as well. And that has been the thread and the compass to our design team around what do we need to serve them with. And so within that, we have an amazing family travel collection. That's everything from amazing diaper bags. Truly, I say that as a mom of young kids. Amazing diaper bags to a kids collection that we've launched this year, sold out of true luggage for kids, kid-size little carry-ons in fantastic colors, and attached to that, kids' backpacks and lunch boxes, for example. And I think it's such a fun example of truly kind of us understanding who is our customer and how they're changing their daily lives and ways of traveling and coming up with everything that they love about Away, adapted to their new lifestyle. If you've caught our kids campaign in New York in our stores, all over our stores actually, it's kids of Aways. It's the kids of our employees that we brought into the office and were able to shoot the campaign.
Are your kids in the campaign?
I was living in Chicago at the time. We shot the campaign in New York. Next year, absolutely, to make their modeling debut in that way, 100%. So that's an example of, I think, an assortment evolution that feels very natural. We also take the approach of, we know we're really, really good at smart design. And that means truly features that are going to make that travel pain point that everyone is experiencing a lot more seamless, right? And so how do we take that mindset, that framework, and we adapt it to other bags or accessories? We launched a great gym collection with dedicated spaces for your racket, for example, for sport shoes inside of it. And it's all of those like such thoughtful compartments where I'm going to put my water bottle, my laptop, today people are living multiple, they're living multiple lives. They need one single backpack to take them from work to workout to on the weekend on the go, right? And so that's what's guiding a lot of our product expansion.
Now, generative AI is impacting everything. I'm guessing, like every company, you're probably using it for customer service and improved efficiency in the office. But tell me if you're using it in any other way. Is it, helping out with design, for instance?
Yes. I'm very, very proud with the approach that we have taken to AI as a consumer goods company, truly because it's still in the infancy for so many consumer companies to understand how to scale it, or what are the business cases that are going to really maximize the outputs, or even the tech and the vendor partners that are going to be the big players, right? Like there's a lot of, I think it's still very fragmented today. What we've done is a couple of things. One, we've set up a very an infrastructure around privacy and what we can do and cannot do to make sure that we are operating and playing with AI in a safe and compliant environment. The second thing is I really wanted AI for us to be an opportunity to upskill all of our talent. And so we have implemented mandatory AI training for 100% of our corporate office to truly feel empowered into getting on with the tools and the hacks and the tricks into improving their daily productivity. And then third, we have implemented a lot of business cases that go beyond CX and support across the organizations. And right now we are letting all of the functions decide, what are my pain points? Where do I see friction? And how can AI potentially help? And then bring that forward, having the learnings and then scale those learnings. And so examples include user research. We've been able to lead way more volume of user research and then synthesize those findings extremely fast. We've been able to multiply the number of A/B testing we do on a digital product category. And again, issue those recaps and implement them extremely fast. We operate one of the best-in-class warranty policies in the space. We have built an AI agent that is able to process all of the claims that we get, which was a very manual process before that. On the creative side, we are starting to use it for copywriting iteration. So not so much at all, actually, replacing the creativity that's coming from your creative team and your brand team, but more around little optimizations to make sure that it's good for a specific channel or another channel, right? And it's those kind of like little wins that are a huge gain of time for everyone.
Now, Away's been in business for 10 years. What's the next 10 years look like? And is there a bold idea that you're pushing to kind of transform this company?
I appreciate that. 10 great years full of learnings in the back. And why I joined is because I think we haven't seen anything yet. And there's so much continued growth and potential in this brand. It's such a strong love brand that has a very strong license to play in so many different spaces. And you'll see a lot of that even in the short term next year. So for us, it's going to be anchored into product innovation, product expansion, and both in the travel category and potentially beyond as well. We're going to continue the work we've been doing around distribution. We are in talk with more partners who want to carry the brand and introduce the brand to new customers. More partnerships. Going cross-border is something that's really exciting to us. So many, again, top-line big growth opportunities ahead.
So I actually was going to ask, do you have an international expansion strategy? What does that look like?
We currently operate 2 global stores. We have a store in Toronto in Canada and then a store in London. Both are doing really well. And it's a really interesting way to not only serve American tourists who are visiting those countries, but also get to know...
Do you find a lot of your customers are just U.S. tourists?
We have a lot of U.S. love and recognition here, right?
Yeah.
But it's also a great way to actually introduce the brand to domestic markets over there. So we're going to double down on making those stores even bigger and continuing to truly cultivate the awareness in those markets. And then next year, you will see us also entering other international markets.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Jessica. This was great.
So much fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.